Good evening. You're now with me, Andy for TVS Nightline. On to the headlining stories. Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg announces a special financial assistance BKK equals to 2 months' salary for state civil servants set to be paid next month. This payout is also part of the second phase of the Public Service Remuneration System SSPA salary adjustment with a 7% increase effective January 1st, 2026. He adds that the BKK payment will be based on the basic salary for November 2025.
Kita juga tidak melupakan sumbangan rakan-rakan Perkhidmatan Awam Persekutuan. Oleh itu, saya mengumumkan bantuan khas keuangan sejumlah RM700 secara one-off juga diberikan kepada semua anggota Perkhidmatan Awam Persekutuan yang berkhidmat di Sarawak sepanjang tahun 2025 ini. Bantuan khas ini akan dibayar pada suku pertama tahun 2026 sebagai menghargai jasa dan sumbangan para pesara orang pencen. Perkhidmatan Awam Negeri Sarawak, Kerajaan GPS juga bersetuju memberi bantuan keuangan secara one-off sebanyak RM500 seorang dengan jumlah peruntukan sebanyak RM50 juta sebagai tanda menghargai ke atas sumbangan mereka. Kerajaan GPS juga akan memberi insentif berjumlah RM700 secara one-off kepada pengamal media swasta yang berdaftar setakat 1 Disember 2025 dengan 6 persatuan media di Sarawak.
He hopes that the overall incentive will be a catalyst to motivate public service personnel to continue strengthening service delivery to the rakyat.
Sarawak's alternative funding initiative is designed to accelerate development and build assets that deliver long-term economic returns, all while keeping cash flow disciplined and protecting state reserves. Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg warns that any delay in projects will only push costs higher down the line as inflation continues to bite.
He says the alternative financing initiative has driven a wave of strategic projects across Sarawak, fueling an 18.7% surge in the construction sector last year.
Allow me to give a simple analogy on how alternative funding works. It is like a family that wants to buy a car to start a small business. Instead of paying cash up front, they take up a higher purchase loan. By doing so, they do not empty their savings. Once the loan is fully settled, the car becomes their asset. While paying the installment, they use the car to run the business, earn income, and use those earnings to service the monthly installment or repayment. Inilah yang kita katakan pakai kereta untuk cari duit, bukan habiskan duit untuk beli kereta. Tapi ada orang tidak faham ataupun buat-buat tidak faham.
He stresses that the Sarawak government remains committed to strong governance, strict financial discipline, and prudent fiscal management at all levels, ensuring every investment delivers maximum returns for the people.
The Petrajaya Hospital is now expected to be fully completed by February 2026. Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian says the revised date is set following the approval of an extension of time for the project, moving it from the original deadline of August 1st, 2025.
Meanwhile, for the hospital in Petrajaya, project extension of time number 4 has been approved, revising the completion date from 1st August 2025 to 23rd February 2026. As of 25 October 2025, the physical progress stands at 84.9%.
He adds that the construction of the hospital is expected to improve healthcare access in Kuching and ease the burden on existing facilities.
The customary dinner held right after the Dun sitting takes place tonight at Pullman Hotel, organised by the Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS backbenchers. Themed One for All for One, many were decked in cowboy outfits, checkered shirts and blue jeans. We have our journalist Yusuf Shukri tonight at the ceremony for the details of the event. Over to you, Yusuf.
Thank you, Handy. Now, as you've mentioned, like GPS previous backbenchers dinner, everyone, including the ministers and deputy ministers, has a chance to wind down after 2 weeks of intense presentation and back and forth to approve or disapprove any bills during the Dun sitting. And the Premier, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng, explicitly said that tonight should be a casual night in his speech. And of course, that's the highlight of the night. He took time to tell the backbenchers and his cabinet that Sarawak's success today was planned ahead, a strategy he planned even before he took oath as the Premier. And working on plans that have been laid out by the late Pain Sri Adnan Satim, Abang Johari simply strategized and maneuvered around the rights of Sarawak and how Sarawak should take ownership on many of its sectors that generated income. To put it simply, Abang Johari wanted Sarawak to take control over the energy it produces, including the dams. He mentioned Bakun Dam specifically, and then worked on establishing Sarawak's own development bank, that is DBOS, Development Bank of Sarawak, and then to have a share from the fossil fuel via Petros, and by establishing Sarawak's own political party, now known as Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS, and it is able to unite various component parties under one roof, sharing similar visions. Of course, to go into details would take more time, but to summarize for tonight, Abang Johari took time to recall the many achievements that GPS has achieved and will aspire to achieve more by working along the Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030 or PCDS 2030 and the rights of Sarawak under MA63. More details on tvsarawak.my and TVS Inspire. Yusuf Shukri, Awang Azmil, TVS, Kuching.
Right, on to the next update. After more than a decade of heartbreak and unanswered question, Malaysia is preparing to once again search for Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, the plane that vanished with 239 people on board and left the world grappling with one of aviation's deepest mysteries. A new 55-day search mission begins this December 30th, and this time authorities say they are determined to give families the answer they have waited 10 years for.
The operation will be led by deep-sea exploration company Ocean Infinity, working under a no-fine, no-fee deal that puts the risk on the search team. Transport Minister Anthony Loke says if they do find the wreckage, the company will receive $70 million, about 289 million ringgit.
The Cabinet has agreed in principle to accept the proposal from Ocean Infinity United Kingdom to proceed with seabed search operations to locate the wreckage of flight MH370 in a new area estimated at 15,000 square kilometers in the southern Indian Ocean. This endeavor will be based on the no-fine, no-fee principle.
Flight MH370, a Boeing 777, disappeared on March 8, 2014, while traveling from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. It lost contact less than an hour after takeoff, and radar data showed it had veered far off its original flight path, triggering the most extensive search in aviation history. Previous missions included a multinational search involving 60 ships, 50 aircraft, and 26 countries, ending in 2017, followed by a 3-month Ocean Infinity expedition in 2018.
In Hong Kong, the aftermath of the city's deadliest fire in decades is growing ever more grim. After completing searches across all affected housing blocks, police now confirms 159 people have been killed. The victims range from a 1-year-old baby to a 97-year-old elderly resident. At least 91 women and 49 men are among the dead. But according to authorities, these may still not be the final count. The deadly blaze broke out last Wednesday, tearing through Wang Fu Court in the northern district of Tai Po and quickly becoming the world's deadliest residential building fire since 1980. And a series of powerful storms and floods has left more than 1,350 people dead across Southeast Asia, with hundreds still missing and millions displaced. 3 cyclones struck the region at the same time this week, the latest in a string of extreme weather events that scientists say are now producing unprecedented rainfall and massive flooding.
In Thailand, torrential flooding late last month killed at least 267 people across 8 provinces, 142 of them in Hat Yai, a major tourist hub. Officials say the floodwaters rose so quickly, entire communities were caught off guard. In Sri Lanka, Cyclone Ditwa has carved a deadly path. 465 people confirmed dead and 366 others unaccounted for. More than 1.5 million people have been affected, with 200,000 now living in emergency shelters after landslides and record rainfall swept through the island. The Sri Lankan government says it will need up to $7 billion to rebuild homes, roads, and critical infrastructure, a massive challenge for a country still emerging from its worst ever economic crisis. In Indonesia, the death toll from floods and landslides on Sumatra has now surged to over 800, with more than 650 people still missing. Over 570,000 residents have been displaced across 3 provinces, many of them still cut off as roads and communication lines remain down.
In South Africa, a country still shouldering one of the highest HIV rates in the world, a new twice-a-year injection is bringing the possibility of HIV-free generations within reach. Experts say the drug lenacapavir has been shown to cut the risk of HIV transmission by more than 99.9%, making it functionally similar to a highly effective vaccine. And this week, South Africans became some of the first in the world to receive it.
32-year-old Kegoratile Afane sat for the injection outside Pretoria, a quick yellow shot into the hip that could change her future and her family's. She says she didn't even feel any pain, but what she did feel was relief.
Yes, I just lost my mom in 2021. She was HIV positive. So that's why I take this serious. It's a disease, like a very, very painful disease. So that's why I take serious about this. Okay, let me be safe and try this.
She's one of the first participants in a major implementation study led by Wits University and funded by global health agency UNITAID. The study will follow 2,000 people over the next year to see how this new prevention tool performs in real life. A national rollout is expected next year, beginning with 400,000 doses through a deal between Gilead Sciences and the Global Fund. Global health organizations are working towards a generic version expected to cost just $40 a year by 2027.
Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Handy Gui. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.